ठीक है. This chapter, name of which is coordinate geometry, is actually a very easy chapter in grade 10, but you will cry a lot in grade 11. Upfront I'm saying, okay, because grade 11, because concepts don't get clear, so make sure you get your concepts clear in grade 11. 9th it was a very easy chapter. 10th it will be a moderate chapter, neither very easy nor hard to hai hi nahi. Okay, but when you go to grade 11, eyes will little bit get moist. Be prepared. So this chapter today will have our Gyan class. The chapter hovers over two concepts, one known as the distance formula. Okay, one is known as the distance formula, and the other topic on which this chapter will be hovering over is known as section formula. And even in section formula, CBSE has become very kind to include only one part. Earlier CBSE used to have two parts, now it's only one part, so pretty easy, right? So we'll first start with distance formula and we'll understand the concept of distance formula. Then once you understand concept, your question will come easy. Here you have to model the question and then do it. ठीक है ना? चलिए. So for this we need to have our Cartesian coordinate system. So let's draw one Cartesian coordinate system, something like this. Okay, and you know that this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Okay, so this is my y-axis, this is O, and this is x. It's all about common sense. Okay, so the first part of the chapter deals with distance formula, where our job will be, okay, our job will be, this is what we are studying, our job will be to find distance between 2 points, and these 2 points will be on the Cartesian plane, that is the xy plane, that is called the xy plane. So the points will be out there. In order to explain you, I am first taking it only on the first quadrant. The points can be on any of the 4 quadrants. Yeah.
Sir, I was sick and I couldn't come to class. I feel a bit better. Can I come to class right now?
You want to come to class right now? You will be missing half the classes. It is better if you can continue, because by the time you come, half of this will be gone. At least distance formula will be gone.
I can run quickly, sir. I'll compensate for this with the recording.
What is the problem in attending online?
Sir, I get distracted easily, sir.
Huh?
I get distracted easily, sir.
I get distracted if you come now, then continue online. Okay. Yeah. So we'll take 2 points in the xy plane. Okay, we'll take 2 points in the xy plane. Our job will be to find the distance between them. Please try to understand this is 2D. This same thing will be there in grade 12, same formula, where it will be 3D, means distance between 2 points in space. Now your distance between 2 points on a plane, that can be on the table, can be on the wall, it's a 2 dimension. The job is much more easy. So what I do, I first take my 2 points, let this be 1 point and let this be 1 point. These are my 2 points. Okay, and my 2 points, obviously people love to give the word P and Q. So P and Q are my 2 points. Now P and Q will definitely have some coordinates about them, right? So let us try to first plot the coordinates of P and Q. So P has an x coordinate like this and a y coordinate like this, and I say that my point P is designated as, sorry, let me also do it for Q. Okay, and right, and let's say that the points that we have got, x1 is the x coordinate of P, y1, similarly this is x2 and this is y2. So our points are Q is denoted by x2, y2, and P is denoted by x1, y1. Follow till here? Have you understood? Pretty easy. And we are going to find out distance, children. Distance is something which is always a positive quantity. So it doesn't matter whether you are measuring PQ or QP, mathematics wise is the same thing. Okay, na? So आइए. So what we do, our next job will be that we will be joining P and Q. So I have joined P and Q. This is what is my quest. I want to find out this distance. and I call this as D. I call this as D. D is the distance that I want to find out. And a couple of more things that I'm joining is I'm extending this as a parallel here, right? And I'm naming this is PQ. Let's name this as R. Let's name this as R. Very easy. Okay. This is R. Okay. What has happened? Okay, so this is PQR anyways, but pay attention here. So PQR is a right angle triangle. So if you observe here, right? Can I make something smaller? Let me make this stuff smaller, okay? So that I don't need to change the screen. Okay. Fine. So if I see triangle PQR is a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. And once it is a right angle triangle, all my job will be to apply Pythagoras theorem. So I'm interested to find out D. So can I write that D square is equal to PR square plus RQ square. I can write this, right? Our job will be, so I retain my D square on this side. My job will be to find out what is PR square. So first let us find out PR. PR is, sorry, PR is this much. Okay, PR is this much. Can I write PR as OR minus OP? Yes. From here to here minus here to here. That is PR. So from here to here, what is the difference, you tell me? X2. And from here to here, what is the difference? X1. अब क्या समझ में आया कि नहीं? ये वाला चीज. X2 minus X1, right? And can I put a square here? Similarly, I also need to find out RQ. So it will be Y2 minus Y1. Very good. So it will be Y2 minus Y1. Sorry. Y2 minus Y1 whole square. Correct? And in this case, we get D can be now made to be equal as root under X2 minus X1 whole square plus Y2 minus Y1 square. What is it? Yours. Okay. Okay. This is the distance formula to find out the distance between 2 points. This is the distance formula to find out the distance between 2 points, and it should be memorized by you by heart. Now, a couple of questions that come up. Sir, in the exam, I did x1 minus x2. No problem. This is a square. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 square is 4. 2 minus 5 is also, sorry, 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 5 is minus 2. Minus 2 square is also equal to 4. So just make sure that don't allow a chance for your marks to be deducted. Either you follow the protocol of x1 minus x2 or you follow x2 minus x1, but follow one protocol. Do not keep it changing. Pretty easy. Have you understood? So this particular item becomes y2 minus y1, whereas this becomes x2 minus x1. Right? Let us take a small example and try to solve a problem. Find the distance between the points. Find the distance between the points -3, -7, and 5, -3. Try to find out. Now make sure you use the minus and the pluses very, very diligently. If you do a mistake in minus and plus, the entire answer will come out wrong. Okay. So how do we solve this question? We will say that the distance is given by root under x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. And you have to assume your x2 and x1. So we assume let x1, y1 be which one? Minus 3 and minus 7. And let x2, y2 be 5 and minus 3. Now you can find your D. So your D is x2 minus x1. So it will be 5 minus minus 3 whole square plus y2 minus y1 negative 3 minus minus 7 whole square. बस यही केयर लीजिएगा. So my D will become equal to 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 becomes how much? 8. 8 square is 64. Very good. And this is negative 3 and plus 7. So it will become 4. 4 square is 16. So your answer that you are getting D is equal to 64 plus 10, 74, 80. Right? And you can write root 80 units. Don't forget to mention the word units. Root 80 units. Okay? And this will be helpful many parts in physics in grade 11. Whenever in physics you have to calculate this way, then distance formula helps you a lot. Yes, Mr. Distraction, any other distraction? Yeah, right hand, left hand nails you have eaten, right hand also you have eaten, mobile also you have watched. Anything else pending? No, he is muted. Chale aage? Shall we? So this is all about distance formula. And a lot of questions we may come up. Like say somebody might say, prove that the 4 vertices, question, 4 vertices are the vertices of a parallelogram. How will you prove that the 4 vertices are a parallelogram? A parallelogram should always have what? Opposite pair of opposite sides should be equal. So 4 vertices taken in order form a parallelogram. If somebody says they form a square, then what will you try to show? All 4 sides are equal, then it can be rhombus. We have to also show the diagonal relationship. See, somebody might ask us, sir, what sort of questions we are going to get? Anyway, we will do questions. Suppose they tell you that prove that the 4 vertices, any 4 vertices given to you are the vertices of a square. You know, the same problem in state board is in grade 12. The same thing is in grade 12 in state board. Okay, I have got 4 vertices. Let's say I have got vertices x1, y1, x2, y2, and I have got x3, y3, and I have got x4, y4. You have to be very, very careful. They say that prove that these 4 vertices form a square. So by distance formula, you can find out this distance, this distance, this distance, this distance, and you can take it in any orientation. You will find that they are equal, but that is not sufficient. They are equal means it could have been a rhombus also, right? Now you have to prove that it is a square. They have said that prove that it is a square. Now in the case of square, you should be able to establish one more relationship. You should be able to take any one diagonal and then establish Pythagoras theorem between them. So you find this, you find this, you also find this 2 points, and then you establish that this square plus this square is equal to this square. Then it is actually forming us. That's why they'll never tell you, they'll never give you a question, prove that these are the vertices of a rhombus. Job is very easy. They'll give you the question, prove that these are vertices of a square or a rectangle. Even in rectangle, opposite pairs are equal is a parallelogram. But it doesn't tell you it's a rectangle. Rectangle means you have to again prove that 90-degree concept. Both diagonals are equal. That also you can prove. But by that time, one diagonal and these two are already within your hand. If you can show the relationship, the labor becomes less. Fine. Our next part of the chapter hi khatam ho jayega. Next part is what? Section formula. So before we start section formula, we have to understand a concept about similar triangles. Okay, let's understand something called similar triangles, though this is studied in triangle chapter, but we will need it in this chapter. Similar triangle property. We'll use a property of a similar triangle, and the question is similar. A puppy and an adult dog of the same breed are not congruent, they are similar. Got it? Two puppies, however, can be congruent. So let's see the meaning of the word. We know about congruent triangles. So far you have studied congruent. Congruent triangles. In congruent triangles, you have all corresponding angles are equal. Okay, all corresponding angles, okay, I'm writing it, are equal. And the next thing that you have, all corresponding sides are equal, right? And in such a case, you say that triangle T1 is congruent to triangle T2. This is what you use. Now we will be studying about something called similar triangles. In similar triangles, the only criteria you need to meet is all angles are equal. All angles are equal. We are opening up a very big Pandora's box. It's something like, I have a triangle like this, I have a triangle like this. These two are similar triangles because their angles are equal. Got it? The angles are equal. All angles. So if you become a little bit clever, you can say any two angles, you can bring it to any two angles. See, if two angles are equal, third angle automatically has to be equal. Therefore, in similarity, we use this criteria called AA criteria. If two angles are equal, the two triangles are similar. And in similar, we will show them as triangle T1 is similar to triangle T2. We only show similar. Understood? Every child has a toy with him which is like concentric rings. If you see baby, you give rings. So those rings are all concentric circles of different radius are similar. Understood? So one of the property that you get here is your passport photo and the same photo enlarged is similar. That means every part of your body between the two photos bears the same ratio. Otherwise, I will not find similarity between the two pictures. Are you getting it? Your passport photo and the same photo enlarged. So if your ear is 5 centimeter and the other ear is about 10 centimeters, so what is the extension? It's twice. So if your hand is 13, here your hand has to be 26. So in similar triangles, what we will be using in this chapter is ratio of corresponding sides are proportional. Acha, nothing great. Whenever two ratios are equal, we don't say the word equal, we say the ratios are proportional, which means I am writing the sides as say ABC and I am writing it as PQR, right? That means corresponding A upon P should be equal to C upon R should be equal to B upon Q. Then only they will be called as similar triangles. Samajh mein aaya? So if you have got similar right angle triangles, base is to base should be equal to altitude is to altitude should be equal to hypo is to hypo. Hypo is to base नहीं चलता है. Left ear to left ear, right ear to right ear. Concept clear हुआ? इसी को हम use करेंगे. Similar triangles, two triangles are said to be similar if you can establish two angles are equal. Actually, you need all three to be equal, but it's understood if two angles are equal, the third automatically will be equal. Yes, and if the third is equal, then we can say similarity. Wait, sir, today is the first class of this chapter. For all of us is first class. You are with the blank book. All is written, sir. No, sir. Eraser can be girlfriend, but here let the board be girlfriend. See, if I am catching you, that means there is something I have observed. Otherwise, I will not catch. ठीक है? Vakul, why do you have such a afraid face that you will be kidnapped in next 5 minutes? What is happening? You're watching something on mobile? No, so far you were watching on mobile something, then you were biting all nails. I think all nails are over. Ali bite करते करते भी छोड़ दिया. What happened? Some MUN or something going on for you? No, what were you doing with the mobile? By that time somebody is writing, so I'm just asking.
I just checking some news.
What news?
There's some engine issues there.
Tension.
F1.
Oh, very good. Then though you cannot attend from home also. You can attend right in the TV देखना. काय कोई तो लोड लेता है, बीपी बढ़ाता है. यार मस्ती करो यार, रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है. ठीक है, चले सेक्शन फॉर्मूला. Okay. So first let us understand what section formula helps us with. Section formula. Now all of us, I don't know how much, not in your generation, our generation we had it a lot. So suppose you are given like some relative has come and brought one dairy milk for us, okay, one dairy milk, and the job is that they say दोनों भाई बहन share करके खाना. So आधा आधा तोड़ना, or if you are a little bit crook as an elder brother, then you'll do it 60-40 or something like that. So imagine that a dairy milk has come to you, and the dairy milk is fed into a 3D printer from where we will cut it, right? So the 3D printer has got a slaughter knife. So the slaughter knife is something like, there's a knife, sorry, there's a knife, and let's say this is our knife. The story interesting banaya jaye. This is our knife, and our knife actually slides on a trolley, just like it. Inkjet printers, like that, okay? It slides on this, right? And we are in the field of what you call coordinate geometry. So end of the day, for us, we don't know it's dairy milk or what, and we feed it. We say that divide it in 55-45. देखने में 50-50 लगेगा, but I know in my heart I'll be eating a larger piece. So this edge, this particular edge, this I say that this is a point which is pxy, and it's a running point. It's a running point. So it has to actually, what will this computer do? The computer is going to scan this length like this and come 55% of its merge and straight slot it. And that is where the breaking will be done. So imagine that you are a graphics student, and what you are trying to do is that you give the coordinate of this side of dairy milk and you give the coordinate of this side of dairy milk. Have you understood? And now like that, what you call crook brother, you want to say break it somewhere here, okay, and you say the two ratios to be some mn. वही तुम्हारे बुक की स्टोरी को घुमा कर slot the dairy milk into the ratio m/n, and you just feed the ratio what is m and what is n. Say the ratio is something like, feed it in 3:4 ratio, देखने में almost बराबर रहेगा, and you give these two coordinates. My job is this one should scan and exactly locate this point. At that time, this pxy will be this point. Pxy is actually the point that will be traced by my slaughter. This will be my pxy. समझ में आ रहा है ना? So pxy actually dances. When you go to coordinate geometry next year onwards also, like equation of a circle or equation of a straight line, there will be always a running point which is running. So this is my running point, and this is the place. At here it will slot. So what can be the question? The question will be section formula. There has to be a formula. That formula should be fed into the computer. That formula should be such that it should be able to give you the value of x, and it should be able to give you the value of y. Then only it will cut. What are the available data? x1, y1, x2, y2, and the ratio in which you want. This thing is the only thing I'll feed to the computer, and computer should find out what is this point. So we are going to design that formula for that point. Why I said that CBSE has reduced it, this is called internal sectioning. There is one thing called external sectioning also, which is now no more in your syllabus. So you are saved. शुरू करें इसको देखने के लिए. Have you understood the concept what we are trying to do? Our job will be to get the value of x and to get the value of y. ठीक है? So let's build up our Cartesian coordinate system once again. So y ox. So our job starts now with given a line segment AB or say PQ, given a line segment PQ, my job will be to internally divide it in the ratio of m:n, right? I want to divide it internally in the ratio of m:n. So I say this side is m and this side is n. Perfecto? I should be giving the value of P and Q. So let me make those by the time you all also develop your drawing. So this is the coordinate of P. Okay. Then this is the coordinate of Q. So let's write P will have a x1 out here. P has a y1 out here. Q has a x2 out here and a y2 out here. So I call Q as x2, y2 and P as x1, y1. Okay. Some additional slotting we will do. We are extending this till here and we are extending this also till here. Acha, in your textbook, children, can you just do one change straight away? Then it will become easy for you. Instead of writing it as P and Q, write this as AB. That will be better. Okay, AB, and let this be the point P. Let this be the point P. Okay, P is the point, and P point is my running point XY, and I'm doing P with a red. So this is P's x coordinate and y coordinate. So P has a x out here and a y out here, right? And I will also complete this part. Pretty understood? AB is a line segment, which is my dairy milk. I need to break it in the ratio of m:n. And when I break it at m:n, that point is say P. P is my point. Clear? No doubt. No issues. Okay. P is my point. And P has a coordinate xy because that P is dancing out here. So P is xy. All right. We'll give some names now so that we fill up some triangles out here. So let's say this is AP, I'm naming this as M and I'm naming this as N. This as N. Okay, bacha? Okay. Our first job is consider triangle. Now when you write similar triangles, your notation should be exactly in the same order. Now see, I'm writing this triangle as triangle PAM. I'm writing this triangle as PAM. And then, and the other triangle would be BPN. So this triangle and this triangle. Okay? If you look at these two triangles, then this angle is 90 and this angle is 90. Right? And these two being a parallel line and this being the transversal, this angle should be equal to this angle. Corresponding angles. So the two triangles are similar. So we can write that angle M is equal to angle N, each 90, and I can write angle APN. Now look the beauty, look APM, look APM na, you need not see the diagram, I am following APM, so here it will be PBN. If your naming is correct, everything will come correct. This is the beauty of similar triangles. These are corresponding angles. Therefore, triangle PAM is similar to triangle PPN. Clear, bacha? Okay? Acha. If that be the case, look here. I am taking a ratio AP, look at the board now. AP means I am considering hypotenuse, AP by, then again hypotenuse on that. See, again you can see from here, AP. So I will take PB. Then let's go with the basis. The basis AM. Then here it should be PN. And should be equal to, let's go with the heights. The heights are PM, so it should be BN. See, it's matching. Okay? Now let's see something. AP carries the value M, PB carries the value N. The length of AP is M, the length of PB is N. Okay, can you tell me what is the value of AM? Look, AM will be X minus X1. AM will be X minus X1. Similarly, can you tell me the value of PN? PN will be how much? X2 minus X. Clear? We have one more. PM now. PM. Can you tell me only PM? Y minus Y1. Did you understand? Y minus Y1. समझ में आ रहा है भाई साहब? तो ध्यान ही नहीं है बोर्ड में, इसलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूँ ना, ध्यान दो ना, इसमें क्या मुश्किल है बेटो, इतना सा डिस्टेंस निकालना है, यहां से यहां तक y है, यहां से यहां तक y1, तो डिस्टेंस फॉर्मूला समझ में आया? इससे पहले जो किया, इतना सा डिस्टेंस कैसे निकालोगे? इतना सा डिस्टेंस, यहां से यहां तक y है, यहां से यहां तक y1 है, समथिंग इज, यू आर थिंकिंग समथिंग डिफरेंट ना, अदरवाइज व्हाई डिड आई आस्क द क्वेश्चन? मैं समझ में आता है, व्हाट इज सो डिफिकल्ट? दिस मच यू हैव टू मेजर. From here to here is y. I have to measure your head. From foot to head top is y. From foot to neck is y1. So what is head? तो अभी तो सवाल मैं ये पूछता हूँ, क्या ये इतना ही मुश्किल चीज था समझने के लिए? नहीं. तो क्यों नहीं समझ पाए थे? वो जो बकुल जो बोल रहा था, I get distracted. 100% निशाने पे ध्यान रखो. Be like a sniper. Have your action only on the meniscus, that's it, and you have just not got the orders to shoot. The enemy should be on your meniscus. Please, चलो, तो हो गया, PM हो गया हमारा. चल, BN क्या होगा? अत्रे बोल. BN Y2 minus Y. समझ में आया? हो गया सब मेजरमेंट्स. चले, तो इनको थोड़ा सा छोटा कर लेते हैं. ओके, these are all done, so we'll just make them a little bit small so that I don't change the screen. You have it in your book. Okay, shall we? Now the job is very simple. Look, this AP hypotenuse by this is what? M by N, and this is a triple equation, means double equation, one with this. So we'll take one at a time with the left side. So first equation that I'm processing is AP by PB is equal to AM by PN. What can I write in place of it? M by N इज इक्वल टू am का वैल्यू आप निकाल चुके हो बेटा, x माइनस x1 divided by x2 minus x. Your job is to get the value of x and y, simple as that, right? So let's solve this. What does it give you? mx2 minus mx is equal to nx, then minus nx1. My job is to get only the value of x. अभी और फिगर नहीं चाहिए, फिगर का काम हो गया, अभी सिर्फ यहां देखते रहो. From figure whatever we needed we have got. Have you understood? तीन इक्वेशन है ना, so I have taken left and middle, right? My job is to get the value of x. So can I write mx2 plus nx1 is equal to nx plus mx? Can I write this? nx plus mx इसको इस साइड ले गया, ठीक है. अभी थोड़ा हाथ बदल रहा हूं, I was changing my hands. So I'm taking x common, m plus n is equal to mx2 plus nx1. Clear? So I get my value of x, which is equal to mx2 plus nx1 divided by m plus n. So my x coordinate value has already been processed. It has been processed. The x value has already come out. Sorry. X value has been processed. I'll do it, but you can immediately tell also what should be the y value. नहीं करने से भी हो जाता है, but we'll do it. Okay. The x value is processed. Similarly, we need the y value also. For y value, we will take first and last. So, chale, we will process AP by PB is equal to PM by BN, or M by N is equal to y minus y1 divided by y2 minus y. Cross multiply them, I get my2 minus my is equal to ny minus ny1, or my2, right, plus ny1 is equal to my plus ny. And now I'm swapping my hands, and I get y into m plus n is equal to my2 plus ny1, or y is equal to my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n. This is the y coordinate. Job done. This is something that you have to remember. Now question is, sir, how do I remember? उसका भी एक ट्रिक है, सेक्शन फॉर्मूला. ये हो गया स्कूल में आपका, ये ऐसे खोल के बताया था, खाली फॉर्मूला बता दिया, बहुत अच्छी है. नहीं उसको अच्छा, और डेरी मिल्क नहीं समझाया, उसका यूज कहाँ पे है वो नहीं समझाया. Sometimes what happens, you know, जैसे हम ये कहाँ पे यूज होता है, जब तक बच्चे कॉपी करते हैं. आप सोचो, इसको एक सीसॉ समझ लो फिजिक्स के प्रॉब्लम में. इधर आप बैठे हो, इधर आपकी सिस्टर बैठी है, दोनों में वेट डिफरेंस है, लेकिन मैं चाहता हूं यू एंड योर सिस्टर एग्जैक्टली कम लाइक दिस, सो आई हैव टू फाइंड दैट पॉइंट ऑफ बैलेंस. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली रोटेटिंग. So we know that this ratio and this ratio, their weights can be balanced, though they are different in their weights. So ये वहां पे काम पे आता है. This is weighted average ना. अभी भारी कौन है देखो, ये भारी है, इसलिए हम आगे देखते हैं. How to remember it? Now see how to remember. Whenever you go by naming, you can name anything. This can be x1 y1 or this can be x1 y1. Heavens don't fall. Be very particular with how you are naming mn. हमने ऐसे mn रखा है, आप ऐसे भी mn रख सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. आप समझ लें, पोएम लाइक ट्रिगोनोमेट्री, तो हिंदी में बोलना पड़ेगा. इधर का रेशियो उधर का कोऑर्डिनेट, इधर का रेशियो उधर का कोऑर्डिनेट, सपोज यू आर डीलिंग विद x, इधर का रेशियो उधर का कोऑर्डिनेट प्लस उधर का रेशियो इधर का कोऑर्डिनेट, बिकॉज दिस इज वेटेड बैलेंस. You are heavy, your sister is light, so your length multiplied by your lighter sister and sister's length multiplied by your heavier weight divided by sum of the ratios. समझ में आया? Divided by sum of the ratios. Always remember how to find out this point. The x coordinate will be इधर का ratio into उधर का x plus उधर का ratio into इधर का x. Y coordinate will be इधर का रेशियो इंटू उधर का y प्लस उधर का रेशियो इंटू इधर का, नीचे हमेशा m प्लस n. तो एक सवाल आता है, सर व्हाट अबाउट इफ इट इज मिड पॉइंट? इफ इट इज मिड पॉइंट, नाउ फॉर मिड पॉइंट टेल मी मिड पॉइंट पे क्या हो जाएगा मैजिक? हाँ, मिड पॉइंट में m विल बी इक्वल टू n, राइट? सो लेट्स जस्ट मेक m, so what does your x become? Make both as m, so it becomes, you can take m as common, x1 plus x2, and in bottom it will become 2m, m plus n. So if the midpoint is a very nice formula, which is just the average x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Getting the maza of it? Similarly, if you see the midpoint at y, you can here you can say, sir, let us take both equal to n. No issues. ny1 plus ny2 divided by n plus n. So you'll get what? Y is equal to y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So this is a special case. At midpoint, the special case becomes like this. Did you understand the midpoint criteria? Midpoint is a special case. How to find the midpoint between two given points? The midpoint between two, then don't be an idiot, sir. First I will do distance formula. Then I'll halve the distance. Just add the two coordinates and divide by 2. But mind you, here be very careful with sign. You don't have a square term to take your care. Here you have to be very, very careful with your sign, and that's where children make a mistake. Okay? Now some tricks. Anyone has the NCERT book? So there's a problem there, so we can see that will help you as a trick. Yeah. Okay. We'll do some problems. I'll say carry a next class also, but I'll ask you to solve NCERT first. Can I go to one trick? Let us see a trick. Okay, absorb the question first. Don't keep writing what I'm saying. Okay, the question is something like this. So what type of question you can get? They may ask you, get me the coordinates of a point which divides a line segment in the ratio of m is to n. Then you have to calculate x and y. Or there can be an ulta question. The ulta question can be, a point so and so divides a dairy milk in the ratio not known. What is the ratio? And the two endpoints will be given. So I'm just saying that the question is says something like this. Don't look at the book, okay? In what ratio does the point negative 4, 6 divide line segment joining points? Let's see what are the points. A negative 6, 10. I don't want you to solve. I just want you to observe something. And B is 3, negative 8. So this question is ulta way. They have given you P's coordinate. Okay, let's try to model this question first. So if we try to model this question, it is something like this, that the line is already given to you, and the line has got points which are A and B, And what is the coordinate of A? The coordinate of A is -6, 10. The coordinate of B is 3, -8. Let me just cross check once again. Hope I have not done any mistake. It's -6, 10 and 3, -8. Okay, right, fine. And then they have said that there is already a point. So I'm writing that with red color, that your slot point is already given. So P is a point. This is the point P, and P is -4, 6. They are now asking you, if this be P, what is the ratio? Right? Another type of problem you may get, ratio is given, find P. Now they're asking you, what is the ratio? Now, here my personal advice will be, never say that let the point P divide in the ratio of m:n. Calculation will become stricter. What I'm asking you, never say m:n. Now, hang on, one example. Suppose you have a ratio 2:3. 2:3. Got it? Divide both sides by 3. Then the ratio becomes what, beta? 2/3:1. Our job will be always to go by this. In this case, one of the equation solving becomes easy. If you have still not understood, not an issue. I'll just tell you. I will say that let the point divide the line segment in the ratio k:1. Any ratio in this world can be expressed as k:1. I just showed you. If it is 3/4, you can still make it k:1. है ना? हर रेशियो को आप k:1 दिखा सकते हैं. आपका कैलकुलेशन इजी होगा. Got it? Now let us try to, and what we have to tell at the end of the day. We have to at the end of the day say the value of k and the value of 1. 1 is already known. We will again mitigate it. Don't worry. Now see how to do. So can you tell me what is the x coordinate? What is the x coordinate? This point P. So in this, let's go by our formula. Idhar ka ratio k multiplied by that side's x 3 plus that side's ratio 1 multiplied by this side's -6 divided by k plus 1. Right? Again, I'll say, don't even go by this, because here it is, this value is known to me. What is this value? Oh, this value is known to me. What is the value? -4. -4. Has all of you understood this? Let's solve this. -4 into k will give me -4k. Then -4 is equal to 3k -6. Agreed? -4k minus 3k gives me how much, beta? -7k, which is equal to -6 plus 4 -2. Can I say k's value is equal to 2/7? Right? I have to finally tell my ratio. Ratio is what? K is to 1. 2/7 is to 1. So what do? 2/7 को 7 से multiply कर दो, 1 को भी 7 से कर दो, तो कितना हो गया? 2:7. Answer has come out already. You have not touched the y coordinate. But if you do m:n, na, you have to touch the y coordinate also. Did not. So whenever a problem comes and the problem tells you find out the ratio, like a IDIOT, don't say m:n. m:n करोगे, answer आएगा. Did I use the y coordinate? I am supposed to give this value of k. दे दिया ना. अब बुक के साथ आंसर करेक्ट है. क्या आंसर इज करेक्ट? Book has actually solved it by m:n. See, m:n करें कितना लंबा हो गया, because you have to do it for x, you have to do for y also. They have showed the alternate also. The alternate. So whenever you get a question where they say find the ratio, please divide it in the ratio of k:1 or 1:k, whatever is your way. Then only one unknown is there. m:n करने से two unknowns. Two unknowns to solve how many equations you need? Two equations. So one unknown you will solve with x, one unknown you will solve with y. Understood? Okay. Some more concepts that you will need in this chapter. Gyan is this much. Do you understand what you mean by the word? Anyone has any doubt in this, what I explained in this one? Did you understand what I wanted to say? M is to n मत करो, M is to n करोगे आपका टाइम ज्यादा जाएगा, because you are opening two unknowns. Okay, next, have you heard about something called median? What is median? Median not by statistics. तो ज्योमेट्री पढ़े नहीं हो ठीक से, मीडियन भी नहीं पता. Median, here concepts have to be very clear. A line that joins the midpoint of a vertex of a triangle to the the vertex to the midpoint on the other side is known as a median. Line joining the vertex to the midpoint of the other side is known as a median. So now how many medians we can have? 3 medians. Very good. Lot of knowledge you are having. 3 medians. And surprisingly, all these medians will always pass through a common point, and this point is known as the centroid of the triangle. Hey, I have explained this many times. Point through which the 3 angle bisectors pass in grade 8 is known as the incenter. Point through which the 3 perpendicular bisectors pass is called the orthocenter and the centroid. And if you are an equilateral triangle, then all the 3 points are same. The centroid of a median divides the median in the ratio of always 1:3. Remember this, 1:3. Did you understand? Sir, why are you using this? Because then again this point qualifies as a section formula problem. Say, तो फंस जाओगे ना. Say this is my triangle ABC, and say G is the centroid, okay, and this is M. So G divides AM in the ratio of 1:3. G divides CN in the ratio of 1:3, and say this is X. G divides BX in the ratio of 1:3. So this can be a case study problem. They will say the medians of a triangle, and then you will start thinking, यार chapter में नहीं है सर, कहाँ से आ गया? This is actually section problem, section formula. Or Humpty Dumpty problem also they can give. Humpty and Dumpty are seated on a seesaw where it is always that Humpty is down and Dumpty is up. But Dumpty decides that Humpty Dumpty should both be at equilibrium. How should the fulcrum be shifted? To which point? That means you are trying to bring it into such a point where they both are equal. Ratio is equal नहीं होगा. फंस गए बेटा. Ratio तो equal होता ही है. Whenever a seesaw is there in a park, it will always be in the midpoint. But who are sitting now? Humpty and Dumpty. And if Humpty Dumpty sits, then this will never be like this. This will be in this manner. But you want Humpty Dumpty to be balanced. So what should be your job? Your job has to move the knife edge. The knife edge will be moving on whose side? Humpty's side. On Humpty's side, the knife edge will move. And on Dumpty's side, it is far away. And let's say the ratio is M:n. Case study problem. हंसो मत, आ गया तो फंस जाओगे बाद में. ये भी case study. Originally, where was the knife edge? At the midpoint. So how do you find it? Straight away, this plus this divided by 2. Now it is balanced. So find the distance, how much it has moved. तो ये भी एक problem बनता है. Humpty Dumpty. सब कुछ section formula. And these are called weighted average. ठीक है? Chapter में और कुछ नहीं है. My honest gut feel says one thing, child. After this, I will touch my most hated chapter of grade 10, which is chapter number 1. That completes algebra. We have, what do you call, as I said, chemistry classes, I will be now hijacking into maths. So on our next Wednesday, I would be starting real numbers. But I give you a chance of this class to report back on your next class. As of now, till we start our board practice, I would be very happy if you are done only with the NCERT. My honest submission, please do NCERT. If you have done with NCERT, I'm more than happy as of now. Examples and unsolved, and I will revisit this next Monday. However, on this Wednesday, I will open up real numbers, which I think all schools have done by now. Prove that root 2 is irrational. Then some Monu Sonu start running into the park. When will Monu and Sonu meet again? And then there's one more, HCF and LCM, है ना? तो मोनू सोनू HCF LCM थोड़ा कर लेंगे, एक दो क्लास में खत्म हो जाएगा. And then we move into surface area volume mensuration. After that, we will be diving into triangles, circles, area of circles. And you will be crying more in circles because the new children, I don't know,